What's up, guys? Eric here, Mr. Fired Up Wealth. Salesforce CRM had a blowout quarter last night. The thing about it, it's been around for a long time, and you think, well, there's no gas left in the tank. This is an old company. There's not much growth left. It's actually been around since 1999. The IPO was in 2004. Listen to this, guys. Since the IPO in 2004, if you would have invested, you'd be up over 6,500% return. And here's the thing. I don't think we're done yet. I'm going to show you in this video why. I'm going to first break down the earnings. I want to paint a picture of really what the company does, because I think a lot of people don't understand what Salesforce CRM does. They think just customer relationship management. And if you're on a sales team, you might have used Salesforce for your job. There's so much more that goes into it, especially with the acquisition of Slack. You're going to want to see this video. Stay tuned. All right, guys, excited to bring Salesforce CRM to the channel again. It's one of my favorites. I call it mature growth. Here's the thing though, guys. I think there's some room left in the tank. I'm gonna show you in this video why. I also think you're gonna see some acceleration of growth from some of these recent acquisitions. When you think of MuleSoft, you think of Tableau, you think of Slack, they're really starting to put this all together, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Now later, I'm gonna show you a chart, actually show you where I think the stock is headed, because we're hovering right around all-time highs. So the question you have is the stock gonna go higher? Stay tuned to find out my take on that. So quick overview, guys. Salesforce, #1 CRM provider worldwide by revenue for 8 consecutive years. They're actually accelerating their international growth. I'll show you here a slide here in a second. Listen to this, guys. Delivering durable revenue growth. They doubled their revenue, $10.5 billion in FY18 to $21.3 billion FY21. That's impressive. A double in 3 years for a mature company. This company's been around since 1999. Fastest growing top 5 enterprise software company with $21 billion in revenue. So that's 24% year-over-year growth. That might not be impressive when you think of hyper growth, but for a mature growth company, this is very, very solid. Uniquely positioned to help our customers drive broad-based digital transformation. You hear that over and over, digital transformation. And when you think of work from anywhere, this stock, this company is the epitome of that. I'm going to show you why. You can see tons of awards here. They're a leader in culture, innovation, and so on. Okay, so earnings last night. Revenue of $6.34 billion. That's up 23% year over year. Operating cash flow strong. You can see on your screen, strong numbers across the board. They actually raised their guidance as well. These numbers are good all across the board though, guys. Improving in many areas, earnings per share. This is a profitable company with solid growth. Okay, this slide is important for what's coming ahead here. You look at, this is all the different categories. When you think of how their revenue is broken up, they've got sales, they've got service, they've got platform and other, and they've got marketing and commerce. And you can look at, there's solid growth across the board. 28% growth in marketing and commerce, service 23%, platform and other 24%, and then sales up 15%. Sales is really what they're known for, their bread and butter. They're really building out these other areas. Also important, guys, you can see revenue by region. So Americas is still growing strong, about 20%, but a lot of that growth is coming from international. So when you look at the middle of your screen, you got 32% year over year, and then you got APAC 26% over year. Salesforce is seeing a lot of growth in Europe and Asia. So when you think of operating cash flow, a lot of you, if you're hyper growth investors, you probably don't even use this metric very much, because a lot of those companies aren't really profitable and don't have operating cash flow. But you can see on your screen, 45% free cash flow. They're growing this. They're improving the number. You can see they got free cash flow as the light blue, and then CapEx, the dark blue. But what you need to know is that these guys are making acquisitions. They're making them work. They're making them profitable, and they're doing cross-selling opportunities, which I think is going to expand their growth even further over the next 5 and 10 years. Now, this slide here, guys, is really interesting, and it's something that I'd like to spend a ton of time on. But what you really need to know here is that they have an investment arm. It's a venture capitalist type arm. It's called Salesforce Ventures, and they absolutely crush it. So when you think of Salesforce, guys, Salesforce is almost like a mini hedge fund investing in technology and high tech and really venture capital. So angel investing, getting into these hyper growth tech stocks before you can even get it through IPO. You think of like Zoom, for example. They invested in Zoom early, made a ton of money. So they're actually investing in these companies, guys, and strengthening their balance sheet and actually helping out investors in return. This is actually an impressive slide here. This is talking about their talent and their growth in company headcount. So 21% growth when you look at Q2 FY22. So you look at back in FY05. So again, they IPO'd in 2004. So that fiscal year, their fiscal year is not a calendar year, it doesn't matter. But FY05, you can see how much it's grown. They have 65,595 employees. A lot of people might be surprised to hear that. over 65,000 employees work for Salesforce CRM. Okay, Salesforce Customer 360. This is really important. And I can promise you that you might even own shares in Salesforce and not totally, truly understand what they all do and what their product solution and suite does, especially when you integrate it with Slack. So stay tuned. I'm actually going to show you a little demo that's from their website that breaks it down. And really, it shows you a real world example of how you can use Salesforce Customer 360. But you can see it has everything from partners, sales, service, marketing, analytics. So the analytics piece, you might recognize that logo. That's Tableau, right? And then you see Slack in the middle. And Slack really kind of puts this whole thing together. This is why when the stock was beat down and the sentiment was bad, I was telling people in Discord and on YouTube, Salesforce is an opportunity here because I trust Mark Benioff and that leadership team. They've always made acquisitions come to fruition in the past, so why wouldn't they with this? When you think about their past performance and how many acquisitions they made, not only do they kill it on the venture capital side, they also make really strong acquisitions that always seem expensive at first, but then when you look at it, a couple years later, you're like, wow, that was a really good move. Like MuleSoft. Everybody's like, why would you pay billions of dollars for this company? Tableau, why would you pay that much? Slack, why would you pay that much? And that's why when this stock was beat down over the last several months, it's been consolidating, been trading lower. I was telling Discord, I was telling YouTube, I thought that this was an opportunity to buy it, especially when it was closer to $200 a share. And the reason for that is I trust the leadership team. When you think of Mark Benioff and his team, he's a former Oracle guy. I'm a former Oracle guy. I've got a lot of trust in that leadership team. But I knew the vision with Slack was to really put this whole wheel together, this Customer 360 wheel. Stay tuned and watch this demo to help you understand really what it's all about. Okay, guys, I'm on the Salesforce website. This is Customer 360. Meet the Slack first Customer 360. There's a video right here. I'm going to play this video. This video is going to help you understand really what Customer 360 is all about and why this Slack acquisition is so massive for Salesforce moving forward.
Hi there. You may be working from here, or here, or even here. No matter where you're working, Salesforce can bring your company and customers together from anywhere. How do we do that? Meet Salesforce Customer 360, our entire portfolio of technology, uniting your teams on one CRM platform to create seamless customer experiences. This is Ben, the owner of a regional grocery store chain. Say hi, Ben. And this is Alpine Brands, a global snack food company. Alpine is going to use Customer 360 to help Ben sell more snacks, which grows both of their businesses. First up, the marketing department, which uses Tableau to visualize data, spotting demand for healthy snacks in a few new cities. Don't worry, Ben, they don't taste too healthy. The marketing team runs social and digital ads to consumers in those markets. They also segment their list of retailers to identify stores, like Ben's, that will most benefit, and bring them into a personalized email journey. Ben not only learns about the snacks, he can also update his preferences right from the email. Meanwhile, the commerce team has been creating dynamic shopping experiences that are easily published everywhere, helping Alpine scale its business. And since commerce is connected to marketing and sales, Ben can do all of his ordering on a personalized site. The site uses AI to recommend quantities for his stores, which makes placing an order a no-brainer. Good call, Ben. Next, we say hello to Sales, who was alerted of Ben's order and prompted to call him with special marketing offers.
Hi, Ben. Tila from Alpine Brands.
Hey, Tila, what's going on?
Thanks for your order. I'd love to send you some promo materials for the launch.
That sounds great.
Great call with Ben. Send him promo materials.
After the call, the sales rep can easily capture all of her notes from wherever she is. And behind the scenes, we have IT holding it all together. IT connects the purchasing data to the inventory system with MuleSoft, which integrates data from anywhere to keep the business connected. A few days before launch, all of the promo materials arrive. Deep breaths, Ben. Ben, meet Bot. Bot's a great listener.
Hi, robot friend. How should I use all these materials?
The Bot shares helpful marketing tips
Love to update my order quantity.
and connects Ben directly with a customer service agent.
Hello, Ben. How can I help?
The agent can see all of his customer history and update the order in real time.
You got it. Ken for Ben.
He helps Ben out and also points him to Trailhead, where he can take free courses to keep his business on track. The new products launch. They're a great success. I'd say that calls for a victory snack. And that's how, with a single view of his business, Alpine Brands creates an experience that helps Ben every step of the way. Discover the power of Salesforce Customer 360, helping you bring your customers and company together from anywhere.
All right, so that was a great video. It really helps paint the picture of why this Salesforce Slack acquisition is so critical to the business moving forward and how it can really open a lot of doors, cross-selling opportunities, things like that, and really just improve the customer experience altogether for Salesforce CRM customers. Now on that video, you saw the different pillars, right? So sales, service, commerce, marketing, platform, integration, analytics, all the different things that completes that wheel. And you can see here, this is their TAM, what they consider their total addressable market. So they're thinking by 2025, guys, $175 billion in total addressable market. So we're at FY21 now, and you can see the growth across the board. Some really good growth in a lot of these numbers, like when you think of service, when you think of marketing, I mean, we're just really across the board. But you can see FY25, $175 billion total addressable market. It's showing 11% compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, from FY21, where we're at now, to FY25. So over the next 4 years. Now, I'll be honest with you, they're actually outpacing that number, but they've been raising guidance. They had hard comps from the pandemic, and they're actually beating those comps and raising numbers, which I think is quite impressive. So this 11%, Benioff's generally pretty conservative. He's not going to promise anything to investors that he can't make happen. So when you see this 11%, take it with a grain of salt, because it's probably going to be 12 or 13% more than likely. So for a mature growth company, guys, this is very solid. It's a, quote unquote safe company, has a nice moat. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you where I think the stock is headed from here. Now, if this video was helpful and you're not a subscriber, click that subscribe button, click the little bell to get notifications. You're not going to want to miss the new videos. I come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If this video is helpful, please drop a like, drop a comment. It can be anything like, thanks, Eric. Hi, Eric. It helps me out a ton, and I do appreciate the support very, very much. So I've been long on this stock for a while. I think it was a great opportunity to buy this stock when we were down close to $200. You can see it kind of was in a downtrend all the way from September of 2020. In fact, I was selling cash covered calls for $290 last summer that expired in December, and I made thousands of dollars on cash covered calls with my position. Worked out really well. Didn't lose any of my shares. Now it has consolidated. The acquisition of Slack has been completed, and earnings were very solid last night. You can really see the trajectory and the growth and how they're going to tie all that together. So when you look at this stock, it's basically trading in pre-market near all-time highs. And so where do I think it's going to go from here? I'm going to show you in a second. This is one of my top conviction stocks. I have a top 25 high conviction stocks. If you want to take a look at that, I have a video on Patreon. Any tier will get you in. You can watch a 30-minute video. I go through 29 of my favorite stocks and break them down granularly by management, risk score, moat, all those different things. Salesforce scores really high on all those because the leadership team's strong, the moat's strong. The only thing it's not crazy strong is it's not hyper growth. This is more mature growth. So you have to temper your expectations. It's not going to give you a 100% return in a year generally or something like that, but it should outperform the overall market and be what I consider somewhat safe. The stock trades around 50-55 P ratio. Price to sales is around 10. So it's really not that expensive for the growth that you're getting. And remember that this is a profitable company as well. So looking at the chart, you can kind of see, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So you can kind of see over here, guys, this is something I drew up in chart day, and we do that on Patreon. If you're interested in chart day, every Wednesday we do chart day. I said it was going to break out of this wedge and go higher. There would probably hit some resistance at 265. Now we're trading right around that level pre-market. The Nasdaq's actually down about 40 points, and that might put some pressure on this stock where it might have ran even harder. Now the all-time high is back here. If you look at this around end of last summer, August, around this time about a year ago, it hit $284.50, and it basically just has been in a downtrend ever since, kind of consolidating. Now it's trading pre-market right now at $268. The market cap is roughly $242 billion, somewhere in there. So it's a decent sized company, 55 P ratio in that range. And these numbers will probably adjust slightly after earnings, but just to give you a ballpark. So I think what's going to happen is this is probably going to break up to, it's at 265. Actually, it's at 268 pre-market. It's probably going to get up to 275, probably find some resistance. I think with time, now this isn't a trade. This is a long-term investment. I always dollar cost average. I definitely don't want anybody anybody to chase this stock, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I think over time that this stock is going to find its footing. It's going to surpass that 285, and it's going to keep running all the way into $300. I can't tell you how soon that's going to happen, but I can tell you that I personally think it's not a terrible buy even at that price, this price. It would have been a lot better to get it months ago, of course, when it was a lot cheaper, but the trajectory of this stock and the technicals of this stock, I see this stock pushing higher to all-time highs and eventually $300. So over the course of the next year, easily I think it could be $300 plus stock. And you look at the 5 and 10 year trajectory, I'm holding this thing for 5 or 10 years. I think it's going to be worth a lot more in my portfolio. Appreciate your time and attention, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.